Hey there, this is Tim, one of the partners of Paragon Partners. I'm going to do something a little different in this video. I'm going to go over a dozen items you can sell expired. Actually, this is a baker's dozen. I got 13 items that you can sell expired on eBay. Now, first, let me make clear, when I sell something expired, it's still a quality product that can fill its intent, and I make it very clear that it's expired. Usually I put the word expired in the title in all caps. If I run out of room, then I make sure it's the very first thing I put in the item description so people know about it. So it's very clear I'm not trying to hide it. So for the first item, I'm going to probably start with my most controversial recommendation, which is infant formula or baby formula. Now, I feel good about making this recommendation because I actually volunteer at a food bank. And at that food bank, of course, we have very specific guidelines on food safety and food handling. And by FDA guidelines, we can hand out infant formula up to 2 years past its expiration date. Now, with food, there's kind of a difference. You can have food that's best consumed by, or when it has its full flavor, versus expired, when it no longer has any nutritional value. So like, for instance, at the food bank, we get a ton of pastries, okay, because they start to go expired, but they're still very good and consumable. So infant formula is the same way. Now, there's a local grocery store, and sometimes when this stuff is within 3 days of its expiration date, they'll sell it for 8 cents a can, and these are cans that cost like $5. So I'll go ahead, I'll pick it up, and I'll lot them up into like packs of 4 to 8, and then I'll sell them on eBay. And who knows, I'd like to think that perhaps I'm giving some family, which may be financially pressed, other realistic options on affordable infant formula and feed. Who knows, but this is certainly one that's doable. Second one is makeup. Now, of course, I'm not a domain expert here, but same thing. I've been at my local pharmacy and drugstore and department store, and I've gotten expired makeup. That is mascara, foundation, and some lipsticks. And it's usually a couple months beyond its expiration date. I'm picking up cheap, and I sold it on eBay. And the ladies tell me they haven't noticed a difference. So I think makeup is certainly a good one to consider. Third one is coffee beans. Now, going back to my food bank, we hand out coffee beans if it's 1 year past its expiration date. Now, I've bought a lot of bags of expired coffee beans. And in my shop, I have a small crew. And just as a little gift, I've given them a bag or two of these expired coffee beans. And I've asked them later, hey, did you make it up? How did it taste? Well, they gotta say no complaints, all right? Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm taking their word for it. But I'm pretty sure that coffee beans expired work as well. Another one is cat and dog food. Now, there's no FDA guidelines, of course, on this. But same thing at the food bank, we're handing out expired all the time. In fact, I remember one time we handed out that was like 3 years expired. I don't think the dog or cat is going to complain about it. But I've certainly sold cat and dog food past its expiry date, and I haven't had any issues with it. Now, another one are some medicines. Now, so I'll put cough syrup into this category. Now, again, I'll go back to my food bank. When I'm working at the food bank, of course, I'm working with people who do not have a lot of economic resources. So that means what they do have, they have to make stretch. And I've seen these people, when they get sick, it means they're buying expired medicines when they get sick. And I've seen them, this is one of the things that they get expired. And we've handed out expired. We've handed this out up to 1 year past its expiration date. And let me be clear, I'm not saying all medicines fall into this, but there are some, and I feel confident that cold medicines is one of them. Next one is printer ink. Now, I've actually sold printer ink over 10 years past its expiration date, and it still works. Now, for other reasons, I'm not a big fan of selling printer ink. It's only when I get a lot of it and I can lot it up and stuff like that. But I've actually I remember one time I put printer ink in my printer. I was 12 years old and I didn't have any problem with it. And in fact, I know when I've sold this, I haven't had any returns, so I'm presuming it's working. Now, another one is some diabetic testing supplies. specifically testing strips. I gotta say, whenever I put diabetic testing supplies on eBay, I mean, this is an exaggeration. It goes in less than 4 hours. I mean, I'm selling it cheap, and that gives me only some indication of the financial hardships that those who are under diabetics have, because they're always in search of really cheap supplies. So again, in fact, I remember when I was at the thrift store. So at the food bank has a thrift store attached to it. All right, and one time from a local health clinic, we got this big donation of used or expired diabetic supplies. And so I talked to the thrift store manager, and I made her an offer on the whole lot. All right, and she accepted it. And so I had this big lot of diabetic supplies, and I slowly dribbled it out over eBay. It took me like about 2 months, and everything sold really quick, and it was simple. So my heart in this way goes out for those who have diabetes, and if you sell expired supplies, it may make it a bit financially easier for them. Another one is Nicorette Gum, or any gums which help kick the smoking habit. Again, now I occasionally pick these up at either the dollar store or the swap meet, and same thing. People are looking for cheap solutions, and these still work. I haven't had any issues with them. Now another one is film. So you wouldn't think this one as much, because of course, who uses regular film cameras, and even more so, who develops them nowadays? But I mean, I've gotten film. It's not only this 35 millimeter film, but film for old Polaroid cameras, and you get the instant film. That goes as well. And I've sold film that was dated in the 80s, and people still want it, and it still works. I mean, you've heard that Paul Simon song, "Don't Take Away My Chrome." I've even sold that, and that works well. And that's left over from the 70s. So film is one of those that you can definitely put in there. I mean, these lasted a lot longer than anyone else expected. So another one is hair care products. So I had a bunch of Rogaine. It's a topical treatment for men to help prevent hair loss. I had a bunch of that was expired. And so it normally sells for like about $25 for a pack of 3. I bought them at like $3 each, and I sold them for 15. And it went quick, and it went well, and no complaints. And I've seen other hair care products fall into the same category. Another one is hot cocoa mix. Now, of course, I'm not talking about the Swiss Miss, the lower end stuff that you can buy at the department store, but some of the higher end stores. There's a type of hot cocoa mix that's predominant in the Hispanic recipes that works very well, and I've sold that expired too, and that's worked out well. Oh, another one is computer media. So besides this, I'll also add in like related medias like cassette tapes and VHS tapes. And they're best when they're still new in wrapper. That is, they haven't been used or exposed. And these still work. And I've actually done this. I've gotten like a pack of 3.5-inch diskettes from the 90s. All right. And it's kind of weird peeling off this Mylar paper that's been stuck on it for over 20 years. And being the first one to use it after it's been so long in the package. And you know what? It still works. So you can ignore the expiration date, but I really look for it to still be new in package. As long as it hasn't been used, then you're doing pretty good. All right, so this is my last one, and Caviar. So I used to belong to a Caviar club. And I saw that Caviar, when it goes past its expiration date, I mean, you can buy it. I was buying it for 10 to 20 cents on the dollar, and they're selling it for about 50 cents on the dollar. And there are some people, who wanted access to the very, very high-end Caviar, even though it was expired. There's some people only wanted, of course, for the brand name. But, when I was in the Caviar club, the people were pretty chill, and they're like, you really can't tell the difference. And, they thought it was okay to use Caviar past this expiration date. No one had a problem with it. And so for me, it was a business opportunity. Okay, that's it. Now, if you think I missed anything or something you're selling, be sure and let me know in the comment below. Otherwise, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Cheers.